Hello, this is Buddha Ron, and this video is part 2 of meditation game Monkey Mind Guarding the Gate. You should now have practiced a little bit what we did in part 1. If you haven't done so yet, please go back and watch part 1 of the meditation game and practice a little bit of sitting. See if you can establish one point of concentration. See what kind of stuff shows up. Probably it's going to be a little bit difficult. You'll be distracted. In the first clip, we started exploring how the intention guides the breathing and how the breathing controls the body and the mind. Now that you have seen part 1 of the meditation game and started exploring, it makes sense to talk a little bit about the challenges and the rules of the game. If you haven't seen part 1 yet, and at least tried to follow the instructions, please do so now, or what I say won't relate to anything real for you. It'll just be words. You'll be wasting your time. In the first clip we started practicing using our intention to guide how we breathe, and then let each breath guide and control the body and the mind. Did you get a feeling of how many different kinds of breath you can take? There are as many different types of breath as drops in the ocean. No two breaths are the same. We can try to even the breath, make it rhythmical, slow it down, speed it up, make it coarse or fine, long or short, energizing or relaxing. We can try to develop a quality in each breath, but ultimately you can't take the same breath twice. So don't try to standardize your breaths, but keep exploring and develop your breaths. Each new breath is another step, especially when you're struggling. Did you get a sense of how much the breath actually affects us? If you can wrap your mind around just how much the breath controls the body-mind complex, congratulations! This realization will only deepen, and now you have the most powerful tool available to guide, regulate, and control your experience. The more you work with the concept, the faster your progress will be. Remember, it is the intention that guides how we breathe. The breath, in turn, regulates the energy field in the body through tension or relaxation, and the mind through energizing or relaxing. What gets in the way of meditation? Consciousness of phenomena and self-consciousness. You have decided to sit down and let the monkey watch the feeling of air at the gate. In the beginning you are tired or disturbed and all kinds of stuff shows up, so you breathe energizing or relaxing breaths to adjust the feeling of the body and the mind, feeling the whole of the breathing in your stomach and chest. Keeping your attention on the feeling of the whole body and the feeling of your breaths helps you calm your stream of thoughts. So the monkey calms down, and now you have a feeling of sensitivity in your body. Thoughts go in the background and you start feeling stuff. Maybe you have a pain in the back, maybe your legs are painful, itches or aches, the feeling of the whole body, the rush of air going in and out. You may see different phenomena, but don't let the monkey create stories about it. If it does, catch it by being mindful of your intention, your attention, and your persistence. Your intention to meditate, your attention on what's going on, and your decision to have some persistence. Tell it to go from focusing on the whole breath or the whole body and zoom in to focus more and more around the area at the gate. It's useful to play around with tension and relaxation. Put the tongue up towards the top of your mouth and experiment with moving your chi around, that is, the electrical signals, that is, the tension and relaxation in your mouth. That is flexing the muscles in your tongue, mouth, lips, nose, or even throat. Experiment with breathing with tension in those areas. Like if you have snot in your nose, you do like this. You tense the nose while inhaling, right? You can tense the front of the nose or more back in the sinus cavity behind the nose. Or when you're speaking, you're moving the tension around in the mouth and in the throat, in the vocal cords while breathing out. Experiment and get to know this area very well. This is very important for meditation, but also for teaching yourself how to be able to express yourself better, to make different sounds in your own language or in a new language or in singing. You constantly gain levels and skill points while practicing this. And you know you have made good progress when you can take and inhale through the nose with a little bit of tension and move the tension in a circle from the nose backwards and down into the throat and then forward in the underjaw and up again. So you make like a circle of tension with the top half of the circle on the in-breath and the bottom half on the circle on the out-breath. Similarly, you should be able to make the intention guide the breathing and the chi and the tension around in a bigger circle, going from the lower dantian in a forward circle like this, up like on the front of your muscles, up through the solar plexus, up to the throat, and then down the spine on the out breath. Like you feel the tension go as you empty your chest and empty your stomach. You can let this tension go all the way down to the root chakra, which is the perineum, the muscle between your anus and your genitals. And you breathe in, starting the tension all the way down there and bringing it up as you breathe in through the stomach. And you can take it all the way up through all the chakras, and when you breathe out you take it down again on the back side. Some people say that this circle is supposed to go that way, and some people say it's supposed to go up through the spine and down through the front. So I suggest that you do research and experiment by yourself. Don't use too much tension, be careful with yourself. Remember Dr. Yang's book, Tendon and Muscle Changing, Marrow and Brain Cleansing Qigong. Now back to the monkey. When you have played around with sensitizing your face and your monkey is fairly peaceful, send it to guard the feeling of air going in and out through the gate. Every breath changes the sensation. Make every breath zoom your attention in on that point. In the beginning, when we feel the whole breath, you can focus on feeling the stomach first and then the chest, and then emptying the chest first and then the stomach. But when we try to get one point of concentration at the gate, then don't mind so much how you breathe here, or it will steal your attention away from guarding the feeling of air at the gate right here. Experiment with relaxing the area more and more with each breath, or sensitizing it slightly with tension. Like I can tense it as so much that I can contract, but I can also send a little bit of electrical signals, just enough for me to feel a little bit of tension there, not enough for the muscles to actually contract. You should be able to experience a lot of cool stuff while practicing this, like deep concentration at one point, or the monkey becoming surprisingly willing and controllable. You may feel a feeling of great internal space. You may see visual phenomena or many other things. Try not to get distracted by anything that happens, like if you see something cool or hear something. Try not to get distracted by anything that happens, but keep on refining the feeling of air at that one point. If you are unable to get to that point, here are some of the reasons. A lot of people think that they are the voice in their head that tells them to do stuff. They believe the story of the monkey mind. Basically, if you are unable to see the voice of the mind as not yourself, but rather bad habits of a trainable monkey, then you can never get deep into concentration and insight meditation. Why? The monkey mind has been trained since birth to treat itself as an I. Even though you, while growing up, have constantly changed the qualities of the arising eyes, most people think that there is a permanent I there. So the monkey says stuff like, "I'm meditating," which disturbs the space in the mind, which distracts you from the feeling of air going in and out through the point. Thinking "I am meditating" breaks your meditation. Suddenly the story of "I am meditating" is taking the place of you watching the feeling of air at the gate. "I can't meditate," the same thing. The monkey mind makes up a story why it can't sit and watch the feeling of air at the gate. "The dog disturbs my meditation." "I'm hungry." "I'm itching." And because you don't discriminate between the voice of the mind, which does what it is trained to do, and the voice of your intention, which is the main operator, the seat of free will, the repeated messages of the mind overwhelms the intention, and you give in to the voice of the mind. Then you start getting into long stories about why you can't meditate, or how it's stupid or superstitious, or an unlimited number of other reasons you can come up with. But let me tell you, all the disturbance, all the distractions is just the monkey mind trying to hold on to the controls that it is used to having. If the message of the intention is to have attention and persistence, then it will gradually with each breath acquire it. But if you believe all the messages that the mind presents to you, all your programming and all your stories, if you believe the mind when it puts I and my labels on arising phenomena, and you believe the story, then you are powerless to stop the mind, because you think you are the mind. You need first to understand that you are not any of the arising phenomena, and you are not the owner of any of the arising phenomena, nor are they a part of you. All arising phenomena must cease to exist after its causes for existing ceases to support it. Even your body must at some point be left behind. You already left your 5-year-old body and mind behind without even noticing it. You don't even care for most of the things that you thought then were of life and death importance, like your doll or your action figure, or missing the cartoon on TV, or some role model that you thought was really cool but now you think he or she sucks, or whatever it might have been. The fact is that we are trained from very early on, and we're constantly recontextualizing our experience as we get to know about more and more things and how they work. We label different phenomena with name and form. That is what we call it and what its function is in itself, in relation to other phenomena, and last but not least, to the story of I and mind. So the first step in our insight meditation, when phenomena shows up and breaks our concentration, is to observe the arising cluster of 1. Phenomena, 2. Feeling, 3. I and or my labels, and 4. The already existing formation or fabrication, our story about the phenomena and how the I relates to it. When we become mindful of the cluster bomb of the arising phenomena, when we become mindful of the cluster bomb of a distraction, we don't give it any energy. Meaning, as soon as you catch yourself, just start observing the phenomena in your mind right there and then. Focus on the most prominent one without continuing the line of thoughts and start to contemplate the nature of all phenomena. Let's start with an easy example. A dog is barking. You were just getting into a little bit of concentration, and then your neighbor's dog starts barking. The sound may enter your ear and give rise to ear consciousness, like on the outside of the bubble of your concentration at the gate. But somewhere in the mind there is a formation of thoughts that grows in strength, and suddenly you're thinking, oh, the neighbor's dog is disturbing my meditation. So you may irritate yourself for a short or long while with long stories about internal and external stuff always showing up to disturb your meditation. So you for crying out loud, external stuff is always disturbing. So you may irritate yourself for a long or short while about external stuff always disturbing you, always getting in your way. Or in other cases than the dog, you might blame yourself. But when you become aware of what I'm trying to tell you here, you will suddenly have a tool at hand to deal with the distraction. Go back to the sound of the barking dog. Remember that it barked for a while without disturbing the concentration? Actually, the dog was barking just because it was disturbed by some phenomena, not to disturb you. And actually, the dog wasn't disturbing you. It was the monkey mind who found its way back to the control room, and it connected the barking with name and form, its previous experience of similar phenomena, and connected some of the old scripts and stories of I and my to the phenomena. This is what the Buddha calls birth of the fabricated I. This is what we want to train the monkey not to do. According to the expert in study of phenomena in the mind, their qualities and relationships, the Buddha, all phenomena has three qualities in common. One, they are impermanent. They don't last very long. An arising thought, feeling, itch, or a breath or a heartbeat are over very fast. They arise due to different causes or reasons. They stay and change for a tiny amount of time. Maybe they give rise to some new phenomena, and then they cease to exist. The same with the barking of a dog, a sunrise, a summer, a human body, the life of the sun, or even the life of the universe. Everything that is born has to die. 2. Because of this, phenomena causes suffering, distraction and disturbance in the mind. The monkey mind attaches stories to them and goes on an automatic crazy rampage in accordance with its training from long ago. It constantly makes eyes and minds and tells stories about them, even when the intention is to sit down and concentrate. This crazy monkey business is the only thing keeping us from having complete control over our bodies and our minds. 3. Phenomena come and go, so they are not a permanent part of existence. There is no phenomena that doesn't in time pass away, and so they are not a part of your real self, and they cannot belong to you. In ultimate truth, they are not I and mine. The I's you constantly create are false, an illusion, a fabrication. If we are able to practice like this, phenomena will gradually lose their power over us, and the power of the intention will grow. So will our concentration, insight, mindfulness, skillfulness, and so many other beneficial qualities. It is my experience that this practice works, and that these are indeed the qualities of phenomena. Still, my monkey has not been completely trained to stop repeating the stories of old fabrications, but it is definitely behaving much better, and my insight, concentration, and mindfulness has much improved. It's my hope that you don't just take my word for it, but try it out for yourself. That you don't take my word for it blindly, but start experimenting with this practice for yourself to find out if it is a good tool for developing concentration, skillfulness, and for dealing with all the different kinds of problems that everyone has. It is my experience that this works for me. I hope you spend some time and energy trying it out for yourself. If you get any kind of progress, I would love to hear about it in a comment, a mail, or whatever you like. And if you want to keep it to yourself, that is of course also fine. Anyway, I hope you enjoy and benefit from this material. Remember, you can do this at any time, sitting, standing, lying down, or even walking. Good luck. Om Namo Buddhaya.